Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it. We have finally reached the pinnacle and summit. Dota Pit League Season 3, the end of the group stages. It is our last series between HellRaisers and Alliance, a Group B matchup here to decide it all. Who goes on, who into, of course, the second place, the upper bracket, if you will, who moves down to the lower bracket. It's a very important matchup between these two squads. We'll see who comes out on top currently. As always, welcome into Dota Pit. So excited. We've had so many games in the past couple of days. A lot of Group A matches yesterday between NIP, Asus, Polar, and EG. I highly recommend watching those games. Those were a lot of fun to watch, to cast, as well to be a part of. But now we're here with our last game. It is April the 8th. We'll have a bit of a break after this series is played, but very excited to see who comes out on top. HellRaisers, the up-and-coming CIS squad going up against Alliance, the tried and true Alliance, looking so damn good over the past couple of weeks, past couple of months. They've returned to form and arguably looked as good as they've looked since about TI3 or right afterwards. They are looking absolutely outstanding. Mad drafting some amazing heroes for them. Loda playing super well. Ake as well. Pycat, the cornerstone of their draft, playing Sniper in a couple of games and absolutely wrecking face. We'll see how they end up here with this last game, with the last series. Of course, 2-game series, as always, produced by High Ground TV, brought to you by One Game Agency. We've got Pimp Uncle. He'll be doing the camera work as well as the production. We got Mod Paxies on the stats, and we got Trout Matthias today as well. Trout, how the hell are you today, man?
I'm doing good. It should be a good match. I haven't seen HellRaisers play in a while, so I'm interested to see what kind of strats they bring to the table today. But yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it there. I mean, Alliance have been looking pretty damn good, so expecting better things from them now than I would say we did about a month ago.
This is when we see Alliance now. It's like there was a period in time where Dota 2 Lounge or whatever betting site you use was like, all right, 20% Alliance, 80% whatever team they're playing at this point. That was like a month or two ago, 2 months ago, maybe. Now it's like Alliance is like, all right, well, I guess we have the 70% advantage here. You look at some of the betting sites and they give Alliance the heavy favorites in most series. And it's not until we see maybe a game between them and Secret or Cloud9, maybe even Empire, where we really know, is this going to be, them doing super well? Is this the roster that maybe they go to TI4 or TI5 with? Do they crush at TI5? We have a long way to see. And maybe they get a possible TI invite with how they're playing as well. So every series counts right now, and not only for Alliance, but for HellRaisers as well. And they started off with the tiny IO. They're no stranger to the IO pick, but it's been a while since we've seen them run it, effectively. We'll see how it goes here for them.
I think the biggest thing with almost any team, and I bet this is very true to what's going on with Alliance, is I think confidence is a huge issue for teams.
Yes.
And I think that once Alliance have kind of, like I said, this goes for any team. Once you build up a couple of wins against teams that you didn't expect to win against, or bigger tournaments or matches that really are important and matter, you really build up that confidence, and that really takes you up to the next level, because then confidence just turns into being able to trust one another on your team to make the plays, and there's just a little bit stronger communication. You know what your team wants to do, because you're more confident with each other, and I think that really goes a long way. And I think that's what's happening with Alliance right now.
Yeah, and not to harp on Alliance too much, because there is another team here. There's HellRaisers, obviously, and they have some really great players. But I just want to throw out the stat is that Alliance have won 11 out of their last 13 games. That's absolutely insane. They lost one game at a best-of-3 against Vega, and then they lost, I believe, yesterday to Goomba Gaming in a 2-game series for Star Ladder. But in that time period, they beat Team Empire and Dota Pit. They beat Team Secret and Star Ladder. They beat Navi. They've beaten some really solid teams. But anyways, for HellRaisers, this is a team that we talk a lot about after Ninja, how he plays, his particular play style. But it's more so a team-oriented roster. There's not really one particular superstar that you think about. Dread's very well known, obviously, in what they do. They have some really great drafts. I love watching them. Gortz is currently drafting for them. They grabbed the Zeus, Spirit Breaker, and Queen of Pain, so they want this kind of global strategy with the Zeus and the Spirit Breaker. And it's not like there's a sniper on board. They just want to be able to deal with the IO Tiny, I think, and that's one way to do it. What do you think about the Zeus first pick followed up with the Spirit Breaker and Queen of Pain?
I think the Zeus is definitely first pick material right now. I'm trying to look here. Was it first overall pick? Sometimes I forget when it's in the middle of the draft.
I think IO was first overall pick, followed by Zeus Spirit Breaker.
Okay, so they pick, then they ban. Okay, yeah, you're right. Well, regardless whether Wisp was picked first or not, I still think Zeus is first first pick material. I really do. For tons of reasons. One, he's just strong at all phases of the game. He never really has a bad matchup in mid, because when there's a matchup where you're like, wow, Quappa's really strong, or whoever it might be, you can always get your CS from afar, because that's guaranteed CS pretty much with Chain Lightning. Wisp Tiny might pose some problems, but if he's very liberal with his Chain Lightning usage in the mid lane, and maybe he has a support help him, he should be just fine. So, you know, moving forward here for HellRaisers draft, I think that's something to think about. Now, this is assuming Zeus goes mid. He could easily go as a run as a, you know, for support, sometimes go offlane. So it's a combination of these strengths I just outlined from Zeus, with the fact that he is flexible and can go into, you know, he can be played into many different roles.
The Zeus is, and the burst damage you get too from him is so damn solid, and just he might be one of those heroes that all of a sudden in that next patch comes to be one of the top picks, at least because like when you see him played by somebody like Sumail, and you see how impressive that truly can be and how much damage you could pump out. You get that early level 6 in the middle lane, and all of a sudden it's so difficult to deal with, and you're not going to necessarily shut him down either. You could gank him, but he's going to get CS in the middle lane. Against Tiny Io, though, that's not the easiest combination of heroes to deal with, even though Arc Lightning is pretty good. But I'm assuming they go Tiny Io mid. I think that's the right assumption. So we'll have to see how they play up against that in the middle lane. If it is Zeus, could be Queen of Pain mid as well. There's a lot of options here. Alliance grabbed Lion. That's a value pick. They went to Big Lots to pick up the 4-position Lion. You don't see that too often, but there it is. I think this is a solid choice.
It's really good against Spirit Breaker. It's really good against Quap as well, for obvious reasons. Yeah, I think, like I've said, like if you're picking Wisp Tiny, the go-to support to help out your safe lanes like Lion, Rubik, or Sky. I think those are the 3 options that are best, and they pick up with the Lion, and like I said, it's very good against Queen of Pain. It's very good against Spirit Breaker. You have to be a little bit careful about, you know, all of your spells pretty much, except for the Mana Drain, are very good for Rubik to steal. Other than that, Rubik is very good against Clockwork. Stealing stuff from Wisp is kind of meh, but certainly stealing Toss or Avalanche is pretty strong in its own right.
Yeah, this is some pretty good. Toss Avalanche pretty good. I love seeing Rubik's Toss, because it's just like you don't expect it to happen, but then he just throws somebody up and you're like, oh, that's crazy. But, well, for HellRaisers, they do grab the Rubik. They ban out the Slaughter last ban. That's a hero Loda's been playing a lot of, and they've also banned out the Tree, which is smart as well, because, again, I mean, there was a good chance that maybe Alliance didn't go for the Train Protector because of the draft they have already, but at the same time, you can't really allow them to have that Train Protector. You can't allow them to have that Slardar in the safe lane. Now we'll see what they decide to go for here. Maybe they get a Pycat hero because Loda might be playing a Tiny. We'll have to wait and see. For HellRaisers, their last pick is coming out. I do want to say quickly that the only way HellRaisers jump over Alliance right now in standings is if they 2-0 Alliance, because Alliance is sitting at 7 points, as we have a point system here. HellRaisers is sitting at 6 points, despite both of them having the same, almost the same exact record, because we use a point system. A win is 3 points, a draw is 1 point. So with that being said, HellRaisers, if they draw this series, it doesn't matter. They still will be behind Alliance. They have to win the series outright to jump over Alliance. So very important, and that would give them, I think, the top 2 spot to get them to the winners bracket. I might be wrong about that, but they go for the Spectre with the last pick. Another global strat hero, and they have a lot of that, man. And we saw Fear play Dominant Spectre yesterday. We might see the same here for HellRaisers.
Yep, and it's going to be... I mean, Zeus will not be going mid, I don't think. It's probably going to be Quap mid, and then Spirit Breaker or Zeus is in the offlane. Presumably Spirit Breaker. He's actually quite good on Dire offlane, so... And that's going to give you 2 strong supports to kind of keep the pressure off of Spectre if they ever did go aggro. I like the Spectre pickup too against Wiz Tiny, because you're almost never going to go aggro when you draft Wiz Tiny, because they always go mid. You can maybe go some kind of aggressive dueling if you really get strong heroes, like I'm thinking like Dazzle and Axe, something like that. But with Lion +1, I don't think that anything you could pick here with the dueling could really go aggressive against Zeus, Rubik, Spectre. I mean, you might be able to stretch it and do it just because Spectre is so terrible in lane. They're going to go with an Invoker to help out with some global presence. Nice setup with Clockwork Cogs into Sunstrike. I'm assuming it's going to be Exor because he's going in the safe lane. And this is, I'm assuming, of course, he's going in the safe lane. But yeah, I don't know. I actually really like the Spectre pick.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think it's a hero that deserves to be picked up more, not just against Sniper, but in general. But Invoker, Pycat Invoker, not something I see too often, but it feels like Pycat is really, we talk a lot about Matt and his drafting and how much he's brought to the team, but I honestly think Pycat has brought so much as well to this squad. He is really, he's shown that he's a dominant mid laner, honestly. He's so good in mid. He's played so well over the past couple of days. His sniper play is outstanding. He seems to just not die somehow, which has been impressive. They have to go up against a tough roster of HellRaisers. This is not an easy matchup by any means. So, thoughts going into the game. Who do you prefer in the draft, and who do you think will take at least this first game here?
It's hard because Wisp is... If you know how to play Wisp right, it's very, very scary and hard to deal with that. I don't think that Quap can do enough to kite Tiny in the super late game unless he gets really, really fat. So it's really scary. I know that Alliance are competent with Wisp. We've seen Ake play it before. Yeah. I was just going to say at the beginning, too, that I think Alliance are really good with these defensive healing type heroes like Wisp. We've seen Dazzle, we've seen Treant. And when they get one of them, it seems like they're just... it's in their groove, it's in their comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I think it's scary that Alliance have drafted this because this seems to be something that they're more comfortable with, except for the Invoker pick. I forget who is Pink's hero before I pass judgment here.
Spearbreaker.
Spearbreaker, okay. It's hard to say. I have to instinctively lean towards Dire just because I really think that Spectre's, if he goes uncontested, which I think he will in his farm, then I think that Spectre's the most valuable here in the game.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of, can you get him that uncontested farm? Can you draft in a way that they can't go aggro? I think they might have, just because of the Wisp Tiny.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it doesn't matter how fat your Tiny's going to get, which he will probably get pretty fat this game. The Spectre might be the X factor for HellRaisers, and one of the best heroes with a decent amount of farm. We're talking 40 minutes into the game, and all of a sudden you are looking so damn solid. So I think this is honestly going to be, can we survive the early stages of the game? Can we survive the mid-game here coming out from HellRaisers? And if they can, then they'll have the advantage. But that being said, we are going to jump into the game soon. Goritz has paused the game. Well, I think actually somebody on HellRaisers did. Dread did. And Goritz is seemingly AFK, maybe using the WC. Hopefully he gets back sometime in the near future. I want to talk about, you talked about, IO, Treant, those comfort heroes they get. It almost feels like if you're an opposing team, the main strategy when you played Alliance, a year and a half to 2 years ago was to ban Admiral Bulldog's heroes. Make sure he's out of his comfort zone. Now it might be ban Ake's heroes because he's got a chunk of them. Not necessarily Treant Protection because Mad plays that, but, ban those comfort heroes for Alliance and see where you could go from there. And I don't know. I feel like giving them the eye was kind of rough, but we'll see how the game progresses, man. This is going to be an interesting matchup.
I wish I was paying more attention to the bans because I don't remember, but if Dazzle was banned, but yeah, I guess I could go watch the stream, but I'm lazy.
That's too much, man. No, see, you'll go watch the stream if there's like a sick play or something silly that happens, like the Earth Spike yesterday.
That was pretty funny.
But if you watch the stream now, Reddit's gonna make a threat that you ghost, so you better not watch this. You're a cuss, alright?
Yeah,
integrity
I better get
the
out
game.
of the stream chat. I better log out. So
we're not allowed to ghost, man. Oh man. Oh, let's not go. Let's not go there, folks. Let us not talk about that. Dear Lord. Meanwhile, goddamn, going to rotate down towards the bottom jungle. Mad's going to spot him out. They ping him out. So some 3-man aggression despite 4 heroes being here for Alliance. They don't really want to try to go any further. They don't know who exactly is here for HellRaisers. I think Mad spotted out a couple more. He's trying to get his Observer Ward down. They should give Ake the top rune spot, though.
Looks like Goddamn's going to place a ward here to block one of the camps, which is really effective against Wisp and Tiny Mid on Radiant. Because that pull, or that stack, is very, very important to the acceleration of Tiny's farm, especially if they don't have an ideal time in mid. There is chance for them to not do well mid. Like, if you're ready for it and you have the heroes to combat a mid lane, dual lane of Wisp Tiny, it's not out of the question to fight it. Whether it's Quap and like another support goes there with like Zeus and they just spam it out or something, or what have you. They definitely have the tools to do it. It's just a matter of, do they think it's going to be worth it? Looks like Goddamn sitting here. Oh, you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to snipe. Yeah, they ping him out. He was trying to snipe that courier because he knows that Wisp is going to go for a fast bottle.
Oh, they're
Good
really
idea,
microing
but he
this.
was spotted out somehow.
I don't know how they saw him. There's no ward here. Maybe they just know because they didn't put the observer ward down.
Well, if you see, there's a line right here that he might have popped up for just a glimmer in daytime vision because he got pinged out. It was completely random. I don't think he just like happened to randomly ask.
Yeah,
I mean, he might have just been like, oh, we
and
know
then they microed the courier. So
yeah,
that could have been huge actually coming out from goddamn. Couldn't find it though. That would have been disastrous because it would have had the bottle on it. Now the charge bottom on the Pycat. They earth spike him, but he gets there nonetheless. Goddamn's gonna arc lightning. They're just harassing Pycat at this point. They don't really have the damage to kill him. They need lightning bolts and maybe a bash from Goritz, but Pycat luckily having the benefit of not only his Quas regen, but also having the Tankos as well. So not taking too much damage. This is gonna be kind of a tough lane though. It's gonna be, see if he can get some CS. This is not the easiest duel lane to deal with. And what we talked about in the draft, Artez getting free farm, he is getting that currently, which is not a surprise. But will that continue on? Uh-oh.
It's really going to come down to how well Dread can box out the Clockwork on his own, because theoretically he should not be able to box him out all that easy. Just 1v2. Yes, you have the lift for the cogs, but if you can't box him out of experience range, then you still even always have the threat of him coming back to you with a level 3 or sorry, a level 2 battery assault or something. So it just comes down to how well Dread can play this lane, how much pressure he can take off of the Spectre. It's really annoying playing any melee carry against a Clockwork. Here we go.
They could rotate. He's got a battery assault. Dread does have telekinesis. He's going to use it. Artez will do some right click as well, and he does have Spectral Dagger. I mean, I don't see either of these heroes dying because of their abilities to get away from the Clockwork, but he's still going to be annoying to deal with. And you can see already, he's pulling the creep wave back. Now, mid, they're going to try to go into Affinenge. Loda was going in. I think he threw a toss-up. He's actually out of mana. Maybe Avalanche, so that's what he was looking for. Meanwhile, they're going to get the courier. Affinenge snipes it up by blinking forward. And what was on it? A pair of boots for Loda. That's not the biggest kill, but it's still a kill, and something that Affinenge definitely shouldn't have gotten in that lane.
It's pretty big. Loda's trying to posture here, but I don't know why, because he doesn't have enough mana for combo, and he's just kind of wasting his time taking unnecessary damage. That's a really big kill. Like, not having boots for your Tiny, who's already very, very slow. You can't see it right now fully because the dagger's on him, but I think he has 285 base movement speed. Yes, he does.
You're correct.
Which is very slow, and it's going to be very difficult to actually get in range to combo on the Quap now. And this is going to free up, not to mention, it's a very good gold boost for him and his team. So nicely done. I have to mention that this ward placed by Zeus does not block the camp, so it's really unfortunate.
What?
Would have been really good.
Bottom lane, meanwhile, Gort's getting hexed up. Earthspike already went. They're looking to right click and they'll bring him down. That's your first blood. Going for Mad, and they might get two as well. Goddamn, he's gonna get chased down. Mad's actually out of mana. If Goddamn survives, I'd still be super surprised. They have Cold Snap. Pycat's gonna wrap around. Goddamn's trying to juke as best as possible. Cold Snap is about to fly. They will secure this second kill. It's a double coming out for Mad. He gets boots. They're gonna charge back down. Meanwhile, mid lane, I'm lagging. I think everybody's lagging, in fact. This looks to be some Valve server issues. Yeah, well, you can't go a day without it, unfortunately. They'll pause, I'm assuming, as soon as we get out of this, but I apologize, everybody. Nothing
I'll feel so bad if Dread dies. I'll feel really bad. Although, I don't know if his lift was off cool. It shows it's off cooldown now, but that's just because it went through the whole cycle, so I don't know what's going on.
I have to reconnect. I'm still... Let me reconnect
I do
back
too.
in. I think that the game just might end. Everybody, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. My apologies for the server issues. Please do not blame us. Don't blame Valve back in. But no, not yet. No. I'm assuming you haven't either.
Nope, I can't get in.
We can get some protection.
Good old Dota.
Look at this beautiful replay.
I want to talk about that game you were playing, by the way. I was watching your game at the tail end when you were Slardar.
Oh, yeah.
I told you, it's like, listen, man, I should BKB. He's like, why didn't you get BKB? But
boring.
Come on, man.
It's so boring.
You would have won the game faster if you'd...
I mean, why not just pick Troll every game if I really want to win?
Oh, my God.
It's boring.
That's like, you can't go from, like, why didn't you buy BKB to, why don't I just pick Troll every game? Like, you can't say that.
Sure I can.
All right, wait.
You said, well, you'll just win the game. Well, if I really wanted to win the game, I would pick Broken Heroes.
I don't even pick Troll, and I'm desperately in need of some MMR currently. I played Void last night though, so it's about the same thing.
I'm back in. I don't know if you are.
I am as well. We're good to go.
Neek was in a bad spot though.
Yeah,
I can't tell how much. Okay, his battery assault's almost over. There's a Spectral Dagger onto him. Spectre has, I don't know why he gets stats. I'm just not a fan of this. But anyway, he has 1/1/1 in stats. So he's going to do a little bit of Desolate damage. Dread has a Fade Bolt. Nikwa might be in trouble here, but he does have a Cogs.
I don't know if they're going to chase because Mad asked for them to not kill. And it looks like everybody will survive for the time being. Except Mad is getting charged. And this isn't, that was, like, Gorett's getting that kill if he decided to dive. That would have not been because, like, he started that charge before the game was paused. However, despite a little bit of a server hiccup, we are back in, and we have to just hope at this point in time that everything goes smoothly throughout the rest of the game. But just to get a bit of an update, it's 21 CS for Artez, which I'm surprised it's that high currently. I thought he wasn't doing as well, but he's up there. And then everybody else is just kind of farming, getting a couple of kills. The Mad double kill was huge, but we'll see how that bottom lane transitions.
Yeah, he went for Quelling Blade, and I mean, this is his safe lane, and he should be getting farm. It's just the Clock is doing a good job, kind of annoying the supports. Clock is still farming too. Bottom lane, Pycat in some trouble. He does have Ghost Walk, but you can't really Ghost Walk away from the Lightning Bolt, so you do have to be careful of that. They're actually backing off. Charge was on. No,
Yeah, it wasn't
on cooldown now.
It was on cooldown for about 3 more seconds.
High stream.
Now you know the inner working stream. You know how it works. That's it.
They know too much.
Yeah, we've got to take him out. God damn him. Maybe in some trouble. Pycat's going to get charged. Double Earth Spike through the tree line. That was pretty cute. God damn, still in some trouble. Going to get chased down. Hexed up as well. And goodbye, goddamn. Matt is on a tear. And obviously a lot of that has to do with Pycat too. But 3 kills. He's 3-0. It's not often you see that on a line. 5:20 into the game.
This lane should have been, I think, a little bit easier for them too. I just think they're making poor decisions about when they want to go and when they want to engage. Because now that Invoker and Line are getting their levels a little bit better, it's going to be way more difficult. You're going to have to deal with Tornado to disrupt your charges and spells. Here comes the... Okay, there's just a casual cold snap.
An awkward cold, 2-hit cold snap. Gort's like, oh, that's a little bit cold, but nothing too crazy. Pycat's going to get charged, but they're too far away to Lightning Bolt. Earthspike's going to connect, and goddamn, if he just hit that Lightning Bolt, that's a kill, but he's too far away, and they're not really willing to dive. And Gortz is out of mana now, because he gets mana drained. The story of anybody against a line.
Wisp is coming up towards top. He has an Invis rune. Maybe they can get a kill onto this Rubik if they're lucky. Nikwa trying to run through, giving the extra movement speed with the tether.
Oh,
very
nice
quick telekinesis going to stop him in place. Arch is going to have to use the Spectral Dagger to get out, otherwise I think he's take too much damage.
He's very close to dying, but he will stay up and alive. He does have a salve, no big deal there. They rotate. Meanwhile, mid lane, Affinage going toe-to-toe with Loda. Throws up the dagger, actually level 2 Scream of Pain as well. Level 4 Scream of Pain is the damage dealer that you want. But he has Sonic Wave as well. And he could have maybe put a bit more aggression on Loda, but he was underneath his tower up on the high ground. They've rotated 3 heroes down bottom. Dread's here. I don't know if Matt saw it. I don't think he did. There was no observer ward there. They didn't pick anything out, so... Let's see.
Well, they have Haunt, so this is very diveable. And as long as they keep that Lightning Bolt ready for when he Ghost Walks, then they should be able to get the kill on him too. They're going to just... They don't feel confident going bottom. I think that bottom is the kill, but we'll see if they can... Oh, it's because they're charging mid. Ake could be in some trouble. Lift.
Telekinesis, Sonic Wave. We'll see you later. They might even get loaded as well. The Haunt's going to come through, and it's a double for Affinage. What a fight, what a turnaround so far. Anywhere else that's happening? I don't think so. No actual kills elsewhere. That is very important. That's huge for Affinage. You talked about the Queen of Pain getting fat. That's the first step in doing so.
Unfortunately, a bit of a wasted Haunt, but bottom,
goddamn.
We have Zeus. He's in some trouble. Charge going on Mad, but still a kill in favor of Pycat. I doubt this charge will do anything, and yeah, he's going to actually just cancel it, but...
The problem is they can't really sack this bottom lane to go to the jungle. There's nobody that can really sit there and farm. So instead of maybe just not giving too much away to Alliance down here bottom, they're giving a lot, and they need to be careful. They kind of just have to leech experience. I know they want to get CS, but at this point, they're doing so much work here between Mad and Pycat.
Yeah, it looks like Spectre is going to go for the tried and true Tread's mom with stats. I am not a fan of this on Spectre at all. I think especially if you are going to go Mom, it would make more sense to get Desolate because you're going to be attacking way faster, which means more procs. And that's a lot of damage. It's true, or sorry, it's pure damage too. So, not the biggest fan of this, but won't be the first time I've seen this.
Yesterday was the first time I saw it. I don't know about you, but
he did a little bit of a variation though. First of all, he had like free farm and then some because Fear was getting fed with hero kills left and right.
Yes, true. Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a different situation then.
Still though, I like the idea of a new build, but as you say, I'm not really sold on it yet. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Goritz is dead to an EMP and a cold snap, and the rest of everything they throw it at him. They throw the kitchen sink with the Invoker. Top lane, they're gonna maybe go on Nikwa or vice versa. Nikwa has a haste and also has hook shot. Fade Bolt's gonna fly. Nikwa looking and maybe jump in or just get CS. He does have a bottle. Bottle Tranquil is pretty standard clockwork build. Through maxing battery assault, really standard stuff. Afin NJ's gonna wrap on the backside. Nikwa still has a haste rune, and he's probably just gonna back up. Yeah, he's gonna head home, it looks like. Maybe not?
Nice awareness. It's nice that they know where these heroes are without having vision. Like that's how... Oh, speaking of, I say that and he goes forward and he's dead. Alright, the Caster's Curse is real.
Curse. The Caster Curse. Since about 2009, 2008 maybe. Established then. Good
They get the kill bottom as well. So Lion, he's up to 4.
Again?
Oh, he's gonna have a very fast blink dagger.
This kill lead from Alliance is solely because of the bottom lane. Look at the 4-0 for Matt and then 2-0 for Pycat. Like all of their kills have come bottom.
Yep.
Like HellRaisers, I don't know what you're doing, but don't go down there anymore. It's not working.
It's
like
not.
Isn't that the #1 rule of like an off lane? Just don't feed yourself away to the enemy.
Hey, space
hero?
created, right?
Sure. Whatever.
I mean, at the very least, Spearbreaker, at least with all this feeding, still has a 30 CS, which is good.
That's actually not bad. Yeah,
that's good. Nikwa getting the hook shot onto Dread. He's going to get the kill. Lift comes off, but the extra damage from the level 4 battery assault will help.
He
might be in trouble though. I think he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. That's probably a fine trade. Dread's like, all right, Dread's dead, baby. Dread's dead. But no, nobody. All right, well, someone will get that reference, I'm sure, in chat.
I'm just a dumbass. All right.
Goddamn. Ooh, they dive, but Pycat can't get the kill. He's gonna get charged up by Goritz, but Goritz is completely out of mana. Did he lose his mana when the EMP came when he TP'd in, or am I crazy?
I think he TP'd directly from top, so I think he was already low mana.
Yeah.
He just used his Nether Strike on the clockwork, so.
By the way, that Dread's dead, or is Zed's dead from Pulp Fiction, if anybody was curious.
Oh, I've seen it, but I just didn't put it together.
That's alright, I forgive you.
No, I just want to reiterate my point on Spectre. It has nothing to do with the Mom build. Like, I think Mask of Madness is awesome. That's totally fine. I think Desolate is a really good spell, and if you're to forgo it for stats, I would rather see someone purchase items to help out with their stats than forego, precious skill points on a skill that I think is really, really good. So that's my only gripe with this build.
I'm a big fan of Desolate as well. It just does so much damage. It's very tough. I understand why you went for the item or for the stats. It's because you want to get to that fast radiance, so you get to the Mom, so you farm quicker, and then all of a sudden you have your ratings pretty quickly on. He's kind of a ways away now, and if they could stop him from farming, which I think this is kind of the time for Alliance to maybe think about going. Although I think Loda really wants to get to his items first. And he's not going to go for the drum because they are a bit behind. And going drum is something that you usually go for when you have a bit of a lead. And Loda doesn't have that, so he's going to value at least getting the point booster, but probably getting the full items for full effect. Meanwhile, smoke mid. There's a lot of heroes nearby. Goddamn might bait this for the time being. A ping coming through. They see FNJ and Goddamn, so actually Alliance are just going to back up. Nikwa is nearby with the hook shot ready to go. He's far enough away that he can't hit a hook. If he moves into position, maybe they find somebody. But it seems as if HellRaisers and Alliance are just going to back up.
Yep. So they're going to back up. Gork does have his Nether Strike up and ready to go. He also has a little bit of an interesting skill build for me, too. I'd never see... I'll see a value point into Empowering Haste, but I usually never see more points than 1 until your Charge and Greater Bash are maxed out. In fact, you didn't even max Greater Bash at level 7, so... Kind of interesting builds all around here for HellRaisers. What's Dread got? Does he have max Max Nullfield, that would be the icing on the cake. No, okay.
No. He might go for it now. Actually, after he gets his 4th point in Fade Bolt. The 2 points in telekinesis followed by the Fade no field that's pretty common. It depends on the game, obviously, but.
Oh, I didn't even know that cast range improves with the telekinesis upgraded. You learn something every day.
Really?
It's only a little
bit. I did not know that either.
25 range per leveling up, but that's pretty good. That's almost a full 100.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Keep it in mind, like, remember when OD's Astral got nerfed by 100 range? It, like, totally ruined the hero.
Yeah.
It does
a lot
make
of
a
things
difference.
in that hero. But Midas is completed up for Loda, by the way. So I talked about him getting the point booster, but he does end up going for the Midas instead to try to get... Oh, they're going to jump in. Ake gets charged. They kind of left him alone. The Sonic Wave. See you later, Ake. Loda, Tornado's going to come through. It'll hit onto 2. They'll take down the Rubik. It's actually a 2-for-1 trade. Another strike. Maybe a bash up under the cliff if they're lucky, but it's not going to be the case. Loda going to go down. The Spectre is able to get up to the high ground. The Hollow is pretty good. Turns into a 2-for-2. But the better trade's coming up, and they might even get Pycat as well. The Shadow Strike's going to go. Not dead yet. They're going to charge up on an Equa instead. They can't get that kill either. Battery still. The Cogs going through. Mad looking to rotate back in. Goritz needs to leave, I think. They can't really fight this anymore. It'd be a 3 versus 2 engagement. And actually, they'll back up. And HellRaisers, I think, getting the better trade because they killed Loda.
Yeah, they did expend the only problem is that when Spectre is actually jumping into these fights and using his Haunt, it's great that you're using Haunt, you're being active and helping your team, but that also means you're not really farming, too. And he's not getting the hero kills, either. He's spending a lot of time at killing this golem. He'll get 200 gold for that. Actually, no, sorry, 120. And, ooh, nice. It spawns the next one, too. That's great.
Timed it perfectly, but...
It's kind of one of those things. It's like you maybe you even just use your ulti just for, like, your Illusion Desolate damage procs, and then don't pour it in unless you know you can get some kills. Which they did, but, again, he didn't get the hero kills himself. So his farm is not all that impressive. He does have very good levels, though. He's the top level in the game.
That's pretty solid. Level 2 ult's already up then. That's nice, but 1,600 gold, I mean, he's getting there. It's going to take a bit more time, but, you know, going Tread's Mom and then into Radiance, and then when he gets that Radiance, then it becomes real tough. And that's important because by the time he's going to get Radiance, nobody's going to have BKB on the side of Alliance. And then that's really when you snowball, I think, if you're HellRaisers. It's good to farm, but it's also very good to fight with as well. So Loda now with his Midas still pretty far away from his Aghanims. Do you like this idea instead of just going straight for the Ags, him getting the Midas? Or do you think this is maybe not the best idea?
I don't know. I guess it varies both games to game. Oh, Magicka, he's in some trouble. Relocate coming out. They can get the kill. Oh, nice tornado. It actually hits Rubik in the backfield, too.
Red, I don't know about that one. He tried to steal the tornado and then died for it.
Yeah, he was definitely collateral or what's the...
No, you're right. Collateral damage. There you go.
Isn't that when you hit your own teammate?
No. It's unintentional killing. It's not. It's an unintentional killing of a secondary target.
Okay.
Is either
Perfect.
beneficial or non-beneficial.
Yep, he was. I don't even think that he was meant to be gone on, but he just happened to get hit in the backfield from a very nice tornado there from Pycat. Pycat is off to another great start. I mean, it seems like this is a pattern every single game with Alliance. He really carries them, honestly. I mean, it's not just him, of course, but once he gets that start, he usually gets the ball rolling with some really nice plays. And has the Orchids now. It looks like point booster for, well, could be a Scotty, could be an Axe. Both are good.
I'm not sure. Invoker belts are not at the top of my list of things that I need to look out for in Dota. I mean, it used to be Ags, but the problem with getting an Ags early on is when you don't have your abilities to work with. Like, he's only level 11 now. Still could be fine. Scotty would also be fine too. Bloodstone, theoretically. I don't think that's the case, but it's another option. I had something to say, and I forgot it completely. Well, I wanted to point out also is that Moppax put up a really good stat. This is I think the second time he's played Invoker for like a long time. It was like the first time since 6.83. He's never played it since then, but it's definitely... I hear that we're not familiar with him playing, but It's just, it seems like he's got such a huge hero kit. Ninja's gonna get hookshotted. Niqua might get cliffed. You know, they're just gonna leave him there. They're gonna try to relocate in, but they've already lost the hero. Pycat's coming nearby as well. Dread will go down, it looks like. Will they be able to get Ninja? I don't believe so. That tornado does do a lot of damage, however. But it is still a clockwork for Dread. Dread's having a very rough game, but they're getting kills elsewhere, and that's the thing. Meanwhile, there's the charge. Ake. He'll be able to charge up and tether up in just a second. He's not going to get there, though, unfortunately. The Zeus ult comes out from goddamn. They pick up the kill, turns into a 2-for-1, actually. And there it is. Another kill.
Yeah, not too bad. And Spectre's farming in the meantime, just taking these ancient camps, which is really good. It frees up possibly someone to TP top. Maybe it should be him. Some good farm to be had. Maybe he goes to the jungle. No, TP's top. Yeah, I think this is the best decision.
Excellent. Well played.
Bottom, looks like Pink is in trouble. Gorik, he's Orchids up. He's trying to get some lucky bashes through or something. He is easily dead. Unstoppable streak here for Pycat. Really nice start for him. I was going to mention, too, the Lion is so close to his blink, and will be a whole new level of aggression once he gets it.
Yeah, then they can
they're going to try to
blink
toss him
in,
in.
relocate. Or that could be something that I'd be very surprised to see that if they were wanting to dive that tower. I mean, he could kill goddamn without really an issue, but...
Toss stun finger, he's dead, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, but he'll have his blink soon, and then you'll be able to blink it with the line, relocate, maybe get another hero in there with Niqua as well. This game is tough for Alliance currently, but they're certainly not in a bad position. I mean, if you're looking at the net worth graph, they're actually 2,000 net worth in the lead, but it's the ticking time bomb of the Spectre that is the biggest thing. He will get his Radiance. At least that's what it feels like. He's sitting at 3.5k gold, only about 200 away from his Sacred Relic, so that's pretty nice. And then all of a sudden, one of his Radiance, and then becomes a problem. Although, Loda now with the Aghanim Scepter. He's hitting like a truck. They're going to Zeus ult. They will spot them out, but they'll back up. They're playing a bit passively here. Loda doesn't know that they're really not anywhere close to him, but he will finish up the stack now.
Isn't this Lotus set on Tiny like $100 or something? I was playing Tiny the other day, and I think I saw this set, and it said $100. And then I saw, I was playing on Dying too, and then there was like, you could get things to customize your tombstone, and there was one tombstone that was like literally $500.
Like, there's like the golden tombstone, I think, but I'm not sure. I don't know too much about cosmetics, but this isn't this looks like one of the Starladder sets coming out for Tiny. Is it? Wait, what? It's mixed with different stuff. There's a fight breaking out. Maybe? No. All right. Well, Pip was getting scared, but no. Nothing actually happening.
Okay, so cosmetics time, boys.
Wait
a second. Wait, are they catching up? Is Niqua going to be fighting a Rocketeer?
No, he's not going in.
Okay, so the set. Where is Tiny? Hello, Tiny. So the set is a mix from the Ice Infusion set, which is indeed like incredibly expensive if I remember it correctly. But his like tree is from Starladder, so you know it could have been amazing, but it's just wow. All right.
Thank you, Pimp Muckle, for that update and the dank memes. I appreciate it.
Toss stolen. Yes.
Excellent. Nice. We'll get to see the Rubik toss plays. Let's go.
There's actually no one good to toss though this game.
Toss in Zeus, and then he dies. That's what's gonna happen.
You can toss in the Quap, and then he ulties and then blinks away.
Queen of Pain's like, oh, I have blink, so I can jump in and out. That'd be nice. Which, by the way, he has a ultimate orb, perhaps for a Hex. Would not be unheard of. Zeus ult. Oh, they know they're smoked. They know they're smoked. They're pinging exactly where they are as well. Not sure if that was the light blue ping of Artez. Artez now Radiance. It's going to be done within a minute here. 22 minutes with Treads and a Mom. Definitely not a bad timing coming up for Artez, who's free farmed. He's not died once and has 170 CS, 20 ahead of the Tiny, but he's just a little bit behind in net worth. He'll catch up quickly once that Radiance is completed. Meanwhile, Loda will take down the tier 1 tower. Going to be building the Assault Cuirass next. No surprise there, meaning that tower damage is going to be very important. Backdoor. So even if Alliance gets super far behind here in team fights, they have the ability to relocate and maybe jump in and out and grab some towers as well.
Yeah, I mean, they do have Ake to heal people up too, like with Overcharge and Urn and what have you. So if they could just kind of run away from the initial up, they might not be able to. There they go.
Okay, gonna maybe try to relocate out. He will make it away with Loda just in time. Affinage was in the perfect spot, and they're gonna haunt him. They're gonna try to find Ake. They will bring him down. Loda as well in trouble. Matt's gonna jump in. Artez gets fingered, but he'll stay alive. This is looking like an awful fight for Alliance. 4 dead. Dread and Affinage getting double kills every day of the week, and it looks as if they've taken a huge lead coming out with that last engagement.
Yeah, I was looking to try to see where the relocate went, but it just went a little bit behind or something.
It was here.
It was actually a pretty nice setup there from the beginning from Pycat with the tornado, and then they just couldn't really focus on where to go or what target to single out, because the haunt just, I mean, we talk a lot about haunt and its damage, and with the radiance, which you just picked up, it's great, but another factor of haunt, it's a confusing idea. Like, where do we go? Are we backing up together? Are we trying to fight this because the tornado came out? Like, there's always this kind of confusion element that comes with an ability like Haunt. And I think we saw right there, it was kind of a little bit of miscommunication between the Lions, and that's just what happens when you're playing up against a Spectre. Yep. Big one fight there for HellRaisers.
And that gives them not the net worth lead yet, but that's really just the start of things here for HellRaisers. Artez relocating or actually routing, and meanwhile is actually getting it orchided up. Hookshot not going to connect. Red's going to try to body block, but is actually body blocking Artez. Spectral Dagger into the trees. Zeus ult. They bring down Nikwa. Pycat in trouble as well. Pycat's going to fall. A double kill for the Rubik. It's Dread dominating now. What a fight coming out here for HellRaisers yet again.
Help me out here, Pimp. Didn't he just toss him away so he couldn't get any more damage there from the Clockwork? And then he stole Cold Snap at the end to put some extra damage onto the Invoker. That was really nicely done by Dread.
I did not see the toss.
Wow.
Oh. Wow.
I know, we look so schizophrenic when
yeah,
we don't know he's muted.
This is the most schizophrenic cast in the world, honestly.
Just look at this production.
We look like a bunch of crazy peoples. Wow. Well, BKB now done for the Spirit Breaker. What a fight bottom lane. Pycat, he was the one that was really helping them out and dominating for the most part early on in that game with the help of Nad. And it's kind of just, they've lost their kill lead. They've lost their advantage. Loda's trying to find his Assault Cuirass. Maybe with that, they survive a bit better. I honestly think they could use some BKBs up for Alliance, though. Maybe a little bit later on in the game, but BKB for Loda is definitely not the worst idea in the world. Because, again, Desolate damage, Radiance damage does not pierce through BKB. Zeus, obviously. Queen of Pain, yes, Sonic Wave does go through, but everything else. And I think that's very important. Oh, look at the smoke coming in. Dread's going to find Ake. Another haunt coming through. Ake in trouble. Will fall. Loda now getting blown up. Dread throws up the Avalanche as well. Goddamn with a double kill. Dread is now starting to play absolutely out of his mind. Huge smoke gang coming through, 2 dead, and nowhere is safe for Alliance. They're the ones with the global strategy. They're the ones with the relocate, and they're getting jumped on. It's absolutely impressive.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I don't think the Alliance could do anything at this stage of the game. There's just too much farm on Spectre. They have the Zeus ult from your support Zeus, who's actually quite farmed and has good levels, to just help give vision when he needs to. And this is the problem. This is a little bit of the risk you run when you run a Quaspex Invoker that starts to fall off in the mid game. He will never recover. Very rarely. Oh, this could be it, though.
This could be the fight that they need. Sonic Wave, but yeah, that's it. They lose 2, the relocate in. Goritz and Artez may be in trouble, Ake. Now the tornado coming through. Artez has to go up to the high ground. Zeus coming in. Buyback from the Zeus. Ake not dead yet, but getting low. Pycat gets solo between the 2 of them. Now Loda's in the pit. He's trying to finish this off. Everyone from HellRaisers besides goddamn is low, and he's going to try to man up here against Loda. Dread's nearby as well. Telekinesis is up. He does have the Avalanche as well. Telekinesis into the Avalanche. They don't need it. They find the gem as well. HellRaisers, another 5-man wipe, and they'll take Roshan as well.
Really huge. Artez lived there. He used his dagger over the ledge, swooped all the way around to help out his friend Spiritbreaker, who he actually almost saved. Put a ton of damage still into the Invoker when he was at like 20% HP. Now takes a solo Roshan with experience. So he's up to level 19 now with the Yasha, almost a whole Manta on board, which is great with the Desolate again because it procs from the illusions. I don't know how Alliance come back into this, and you made a great point, which was once this Spectre gets an unmitigated, or sorry, like a uncontested free farm in terms of, you know, he was in the safe lane and they didn't do anything to stop him. Once he gets that Radiance, you can't this is not a team that wants to buy BKBs, and even if they do, the only one that can is the Tiny. And I don't think that you want to do that when you have a Wisp behind you, especially early on.
Yes.
So I think you made the great point, is that they drafted the Spectre into a lineup that's not going to buy BKBs, and a lineup that they knew weren't going to contest this farm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, this was a 5th pick Spectre. Maybe I'm not correct about that, but...
Yes.
Okay. And that's really, again, that seems to be one this year thrives. We saw it yesterday for Fear and EG, and now today, HellRaisers are absolutely dominating. The important thing to note is that this game doesn't really mean that much for Alliance in the grand scheme of things. If they lose this game and they win the next one, it doesn't matter. They still keep the same spot. And God, son of a...
Are you sure about this? Isn't the point system only tiebreaker?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe so. The point
Let me check
system
on
is
the
how
website.
I believe the point system is how we judge, or how we see.
Okay.
I'm saying unless Alliance gets you owed, then it doesn't matter. Because Alliance and HellRaisers are the same at record.
Yeah, right. You're actually right.
So, yes, I know. Thank you, Pim. But Alliance are at 7 points. HellRaisers are at 6 points. Alliance, if it's a draw, both teams get 1 point. That puts up Alliance to 8, and HellRaisers to 7. If Alliance wins 2-0, obviously no big deal there. But if they get 2-0'd, so actually, an even a better point is that Alliance... No, this game is important. They can't if they just won this game at the beginning, then the second game doesn't matter. But Alliance are in a position right now where they might not win this game. You know, so tough, man. And right now they're looking like they're in a pretty bad spot. Not to say that they can't come back. They certainly can. There's team fight ultimates. There's Alliance with. I mean, you can't really. Now Loda has, or rather, Pycat has his Scotty. So there's that.
That is not an item that's going to change the course of the game for you, though. Especially not an Invoker. Maybe if it's a Troll or your Troll or your Juggernaut, but not your Invoker. I don't think that Alliance have any really big tools to get back in this game. I think they have to go for small pickoffs with Lion setting up with Relocate, and then try to back off and farm and wait for those cooldowns. But you just can't take that much time to get those small ganks against the Spectre. He's just going to do more again in the late game than you.
Nice tornado.
I mean, we talked a lot about Spectre, but look at the Quap. Oh, here we go, Han. Big fight.
Goritz, Pycat's gonna get caught out. Mad's not dead yet. It looks like he will fall. The Spectre haunted in, looking for somebody couldn't find, and Pycat's about to fall. What do you steal? Ghost Wall coming out for Dread. Not bad. He does take down at least the Zeus. But they're gonna relocate out. Now Ake is gonna fall. He won't be able to tether to any target. Artez gets the double kill. And it's fight after fight that just goes poorly for Alliance. Oh boy. And you're right, man. Ninja on this Queen of Pain. Now you have a Scythe up. You have almost another item, too, with about 2,000 gold to bank, plus the gem, which at least is Dreads. He didn't buy it. And all of a sudden, these towers that HellRaisers couldn't get to are starting to get knocked down. And this is going to be starting to become a huge net worth lead for HellRaisers in just a bit.
I mean, he was probably the biggest reason why they were winning these engagements when they started to, just because he had more levels than he probably should have, because he did very well in mid. He killed the Courier, we can't forget about that, which actually did probably have a big factor into why Tiny wasn't as much of a problem as he is, or as he could be. I mean, he killed his boots, he was able to get pretty much most of the CS he wanted to in mid, and this was against the Tiny Wisp. I mean, this is a lane that usually wants to win mid and usually can win mid. But Ninja playing quite well.
Tornado, Artez is going to walk away. He might lose some mana just out of the range there, and he'll head back to the tower. He still has the Aegis as well. Now he'll pop him on.
Blink Sheep.
And...
I guess they don't see the rest of the team bottom. Now they do.
Uh-oh. Goddamn gets blown up. It's a lot of heroes there. Forces out mass rotations. Ninja looking for a target. Mad almost walked out. Oh, is he going to find him? Oh, he gets him just in time. Ninja blinks forward now, looking for more, not able to get the kill. So support for a support. Dread is invis. He's ghost walked, by the way, looking for some targets. This is very interesting. He has to be very careful about this.
Oh, DD picked up here for Ninja too, so gonna hit pretty damn hard. They have a haunt, and oh, he has it. He just needs mana. He can. Oh, he went to treads right there. So twist his treads. He can ulti right now. There we go.
Ooh, relocate out. Nice relocate out coming through, but they will find Nikwa. They'll hook into a creep wave, and they use him up, and he will fall. They do know that they've relocated back in with the IO. He does get there. Goritz is looking to charge, maybe, but he actually does a really nice job. Hook shot was stolen, by the way, from Dread, as you saw there. And he does not connect. That short-range hook shot at level 2, not quite enough for them to bring down Io. But they do get an equal on the clockwork, and again, it's another kill coming up for HellRaisers.
I couldn't think for the life of me what to call those treads. It was int treads. I don't know why I was thinking of some other word, but he switched his int treads. He had like 145 mana, was slowly waiting, and finally got enough to actually get the haunt in. Which, by the way, maybe something to think about is haunt stays at the same mana cost from levels 1 through 3. I think that's kind of interesting, but food for thought. Maybe you can buff that or nerf that a little bit. Here we go, action maybe in the mid. They don't see Invoker. Goddamn, could be in some trouble. Oh, he actually misses the tornado there.
Yeah, they don't need it. I mean, that was point blank, but he missed it. But still, a little bit embarrassing. Nonetheless, they get the kill. Mad is going to get chased down by Gortz. Gortz not able to catch up with him as he blinks away. And Mad will survive. And Match is going to have to the top. Well, he's kind of waiting. He's staying here for a long time. So, by the way, the ages for the Spectre just ran out. And she is looking to go for a butterfly. And she is there. It looks as if, though, she's pretty much there. Also, full BKB flying out for FNJ. That's huge.
And they got to have something for Loda here soon. Yeah, he's almost got his BKB, which he desperately needs. They really desperately need that. I really think Invoker... Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad to see Pycat going for one now.
Relocating in.
Up top.
They're going to try to fight. FNJ pops the BKB. Pycat now turning on to Dread. Dread's about to fall. Sonic Wave blows up Mad. Will they get Ake before he relocates out? That's the case. It will be him, and Loda now in trouble. He's alone. He's alone, and he's going to fall. Down for 75 seconds. And they even haunt through for another kill. They're looking for Nikwa. No, he rallied somewhere. I thought it was looking for Pycat.
Mid.
And Gortz disconnects again. How unfortunate.
Yeah, his reload or his haunt illusion was chasing the Ghost Walked Invoker, so he couldn't really see him. Even if he poured, he wouldn't be able to like continue to find where he was.
Nonetheless, it's still a huge engagement. Big BKB timing coming out for FNJ becomes pretty much untargetable in that fight. They can't really deal with him. And it's just been Dread that's been following most of the time if you look at the deaths of the team of HellRaisers. Well, it's Dread and Goddamn, actually. More so Goddamn than anybody else. He has 9 deaths, but at the same time, he also has 5 kills and 12 assists. So he'll gladly take those deaths. Artez is yet to die this game. So we have to remember that that is a big bounty for Alliance if they can get it. HellRaisers... The wait is still paused.
Yeah, the big thing too is that Tiny was so close to his BKB. I think maybe 200 gold away, but after dying right there, it's going to put him back just a little bit, which is huge. And Pycat, he almost has his, I think, too. Just needs about 700 gold or about 600 gold. The thing is too, like you mentioned, I mean, they all need them. Clockwork, he's going to go for a BKB as well, but he's quite far away. But this is just to stop the damage output. This doesn't help with your own damage, which I think that Alliance are starting to lack now.
Yes.
Especially when you have a Butterfly coming up soon on Spectre. How are you going to cut through? Yeah, it's difficult.
Current net worth difference is 852 bounty on Artez, yeah. So exactly, you're right. I mean, the BKBs will help, but then you're not getting other items that you want. You're not getting the damage. It's tough. FNJ making sure that hopefully there's everything settled with Gortz and whoever else, so drawing the minimap. Yeah, by the way, do we have, I mean, I know it's a 5-minute delay, but we should, whenever there's a pause from him at a point on, we should probably switch to an AFK overlay if possible, Pimp.
I'm so close to muting you for the rest of the cast.
Well, Pimp, at least, you know, listen, buddy, you do that and you're fired, so...
I'm just saying.
You go ahead and do that. See how that turns out. Love you, buddy. Art says now this tier 2 tower in some trouble. Listen, man, I didn't know it was gonna make you so upset. See, yeah, I mean, he's yelling at me. The salt here. There's a lot of salt being flowing through. Well, either way. Much love to our producer.
You.
The Emperor of Salt. Butterfly now completed up for Spectre, and I just don't know, man. They'll probably be able to wait for next Roshan if they want.
Instant flutter right after he picks it up. Nice, the mark of a good player.
Super efficient.
Yep. Probably gonna buy a Vit booster here for some. Nope, Okay. I imagine Heart would be the next item here for Spectre.
Right.
12 as well.
Maybe he wants to save the Splot. Jeez, I can't talk. Slot for Aegis, which is coming up in a little bit. That'll be great. Also wants to save for buyback too, which is always very, very effective on Spectre. It effectively gives you 3 lives if you have the Aegis too. So
I think they need buyback like too. In most cases, when you're this far ahead, you wouldn't think, okay, I need buyback. But first of all, they can push very quickly, and they have relocate. So I think that's the key for Artez at this point. And with it, if he can get the Aegis, then as well, like you said, 3 lives. Minute and a half respawn for Roche. Not super long. Pretty short duration for the most part. BKB now done for Pycat, so some damage is going to be mitigated. That's very important. The right click coming out from Artez is still going to do a decent chunk, though, because he has Butterfly, his Manta. He has some extra damage coming out from the Radiance as well. Not the Radiance burn itself, but the extra just right click damage. So it's a good start for Alliance to get those BKBs, but it feels as if they need so much more here, Trout.
yeah, I agree. Geez, even if Spectre goes for like a Scotty now, I actually looking at his items and seeing what could, like, they know that Alliance are mass building BKBs, and in that sense, Scotty would actually be better than Heart, because then you can still slow them through the BKB. I actually think that's what he's going to go for. He still needs his, maybe perhaps buyback gold, which is always important. But, yeah, I think Scotty's actually the item now that I think about it.
Well, Artez gonna go ahead and clear up this group camp. Scotty seems pretty good. He does have enough money to buy an ultimate orb, but he's not gonna go ahead for it just yet. Okay, we'll see what happens as we continue onward. Pycat top rune spot, Invis. Good for somebody. He's actually going deep. Do they have a gem? They should. Yeah, they do. It's on App Ninja. But he's just kind of sitting behind the rest of HellRaisers at this point. They're pushing in mid. And now Roche is up and Artez will scout it out and he says it's time to go team. Like we really need to take this. And this means that Loda and Ake will get some temp to farm top. I don't see them fighting this. They're going to flare it up. They could get there in time if the Alliance wanted to guess this, but Pycat might be able to ghost walk in, although again there's the gem on App Ninja, so they have to be very careful. And I think they're just gonna get this Roche for HellRaisers. Nice tornado. That was solid.
I think the biggest problem is Alliance might stop the bleeding in these fights. Oh, hold that thought. Haunt coming out.
I just want a vision. They're going to find Pycat? No, After Ninja's not there. They're going to find Mad. That's who they're going to find. Mad's going to go down. Zeusol comes through, and Artez just dives right onto Nikwa. He's one right click away from getting the kill. He's wicked sick, 2 dead across the board. He'll put some damage under the tower, but it is backdoor protected. They need a creep wave. He's getting close to having one. Top lane's going to get pressured, and Alliance have to push into this tier 3 tower before HellRaisers do. And again, Alliance do have really good tower pressure and tower push. There is a glyph for HellRaisers. We'll already see a couple of TPs back. So far, just Dread. Another hero coming through as well. Loda goes right to work. Alacrity overcharge, Assault Cuirass. That'll do the job. But there's the Sonic Wave. They hex him up, but where's the follow-up initiation? Charge up onto Goretz. BKB from Loda. They can't tether him anymore. He's going to have to mad fight this. Meanwhile, Artez is at the base. Loda's going to try to TP. He will make it back, it looks like. Lightning Bolt not there in time. They'll grab Ake. The tier 3 now gone. There's the Earth Spike coming in. Artez is 100% alone. We'll get hexed up as well. But look at the illusion damage coming out. Matt has to back all the way up, and Artez says, I'm going back to work. I want this melee racks. Spectral Dagger is going to go get Kragged in the meantime. And Artez will try to finish up the melee racks. The rest of his team coming for reinforcements. Goretz is going to dive in. He cancels the dive. He cancels the charge. And it looks like Brax might be in trouble. Mad missing out the Earth Spike there, not connecting. It is going to be hard for Artez. Cog's not connecting either. This is permanent damage to the range racks, by the way, but it looks like Artez will be able to take it down and kill the first set of racks coming here for HellRaisers. A really good start to this first game.
And it looks like Spectre almost even wants to die. Like he's just... No, he does have a completed heart, so he didn't go for the Scotty build, which I thought he might have, but heart is totally fine too. Nothing wrong with that at all. Makes him super tanky, makes the dispersion a little bit more effective, and he has that ready to go. He's actually just going to replace it to give himself some nice regen and send his mom back to base.
He doesn't need it now. He's got the butterfly. He attacks quickly enough as it is. He doesn't want to get too much damage taken. Glyph not available. Actually, is available still for Alliance. They have it. Artez is on the front line with the Sages, and they don't want to initiate on him, but they're going to find goddamn instead up on the high ground. They finger him. They isn't brought him down yet, but he's going to go down now. Artez trying to fight Pycat, hexed up, about to fall. Pycat's going to go down. So will Mad, Loda, BKB, but they're not even focusing him. Finally, they bring down Artez for only the first time. Buyback on Dim. Goddamn, they get the Zeus ult off Loda with no BKB. There's going to be the Avalanche going through as well. The Haunt coming in. They really want this kill. They'll find Equa instead. They need Loda to survive, and he will. Pycat has bought back. Sunstrike gonna go, not gonna connect. Pycat, his BKB's done. Spectral Dagger and one if he wants to use it, but Artez not gonna go for it. Instead, he gets tornadoed. The racks still exposed. Melee racks. If they take this could be trouble for Alliance. Loda will walk back in, gets hexed up, cold snap. Now they silence up J as well. He uses himself into the air. Pycat in trouble as well. Sonic Wave on Loda, he's low. Artez shouldn't dive this, but he will. They don't have vision. Now the ult's up. Loda's gonna fall. Down for 83, and they will take the range racks and perhaps even the game here as the tier 4s, they're now exposed. They can head top if they really want and finish off all sets of the racks, but as it stands now, this is HellRaisers' game to lose.
Boots travel now picked up from the Spectre, so he can be all over the place. Yeah, I don't think that there's a chance here for Alliance. They gave it a nice idea, or they gave it a nice shot when they tried doing some split pushing things up top. And they forced out the glyph, but that stifled their push, and then they came back to fight them. Loda almost got a full combo and a couple auto attacks off on the Zeus, and almost killed him. He was one more auto attack away, but Zeus with the 4-stab was able to get out of there.
Pycat has been spotted, and he just bought back. And he will be down for 97 seconds. He was really going in. Him and Matt, I think, it smoked up, and he even ghost walked in. He was looking for a target, but he just couldn't find it. That will be the GG. A nice way to end the game for HellRaisers. Really well played here in this first game. Again, they have to 2-0 in order to be able to jump over Alliance. However, if Alliance win this next game, it's not going to matter. All of that perfect game one will be for naught. And we'll see how it turns out here. As Alliance down 1-0 here in this series, they have a chance to tie it up. And knowing Alliance, they have a very good chance of doing so. We'll have to see how that pans out. But any closing thoughts, Trough, before we head out of here?
I just really liked HR's draft. You know, when you asked me the question at the beginning, and I still favor their draft. I was a little bit scared just because I know how well the Alliance has been playing the Wisp as of late, especially the Wisp Tiny. But I think that if Spectre, and this goes back to my original point, was that when they show the Wisp Tiny, it's very unlikely that teams go aggro tri-lane. And with a 5th pick Spectre, that kind of threw them off guard a little bit, and it seems to be doing that a lot lately. It was just a nice draft because you knew that you were almost certain that you were going to get free from on your Spectre. Whether you dual lane bottom or tri-lane top, it didn't matter. They were going to get the farm on Spectre. I think that's the most important thing, getting that farm. So it was a nice draft by Gorek.
I think it was the last pick Spectre coming out. Definitely what I think propelled them. Obviously, AJ having a very good mid lane as well. Only dying once, and then Artez dying 0 times. 8-0 and 23. Good stuff. With that being said, it's our last game come up here of the group stages. We'll see how it pans out, as of course it is HellRaisers versus Alliance here in this 2-game series. Will Alliance be able to come back inside the series up 1-1, or will HellRaisers take the series 2-0 and leap over Alliance here to get the top 2 spot? A lot at stake here for both of these squads. Who's going to win? We'll jump back into the game in just a moment, guys. Make sure you stick around here on Dota Pit. As always, I'm Mott with Trough, as well as Pitmuckle and Mottpex. We'll see you soon.